It's been about $1,600 or so.
And that's for about 7 weeks of trading.
Morgan, tell me a little bit about yourself. What's your professional background?
I, similar to you, graduated summa cum laude in 2017. My first job out of college. And then my first job out of college was to work at the Porsche US headquarters in Atlanta. But then during COVID, with the shutdown and everything, I actually decided to take a year off and travel. Now I work in insurance. It's a big change from automotive, but I'm living where I want to live, and I enjoy that aspect of it. But that's my professional background so far.
What for you was your main motivation for wanting to make passive income?
I guess for me, really, like, I don't want to always rely on one source of income. I actually have a part-time job as well right now. And I have dabbled a little bit with like stock investment, real estate investments, things like that. But I like that this is a little more passive and maybe more consistent too. And then that there's a team of you guys all providing support. I also have a goal too that, like, down the road, I maybe see myself having a family, and I don't want to be tied down with work and not being able to like spend time with my family and things like that. And I also don't think it's fair to just rely 100% on my partner either.
Sure.
Like, I want to be financially independent.
That makes total sense. My wife and I, especially when we first got married, we were like dead set on the making sure that we calibrated our finances perfectly, or as ideally as possible, using the Dave Ramsey method of becoming debt free and being able to like minimize your expenses so that way you can maximize your income and all of that. So 100% a team effort is what's going to be necessary in order for you guys to get to hopefully a collective goal. So what have you tried before in terms of maybe making passive income or another stream for yourself?
I know it looks like a lot of people you interview, you ask about other automated systems. I actually haven't done anything like that before. So for me, mostly like investing in the stock market, kind of like selling some stuff, buying stuff. I wouldn't say I'm like an active trader, just kind of like when I see that the growth is kind of where I want it to be, I'll sell. But then as far as the real estate, I have a dividend reinvestment plan going on there, and that's been doing fine. But nothing is as high of returns as like what you guys are promising.
100%. How did you actually hear about us? Was there like an ad or like a video that like stuck out?
I was doing some research, reading some finance books, and started like Googling different options, and I came across a bunch of master classes, and I think that my search engine was seeing I was interested in finances all of a sudden, and your ad popped up on Instagram, and I watched it. I liked how personable it was. I started watching all the YouTube video and interviews that you had, and I like that everybody seemed real and like average people looking for a good opportunity.
100%. And so, what we've been able to do for well, really, it's in our estimation, we call them the top 10% of the country, right? And it may not be a part of the top 1%, which is typically 125,000 a year household income. That's kind of like really top 1%, what it's defined as. So we look for people that are in the top 10%. They don't have access to what the top 1% or the 1% of the 1% have access to, and to be able to bring that to people that are not average, right? It's still above average. You're not average. You graduated summa cum laude, right? That's not average. So based off of the actual like median income of $60,000, your household income is at least projected to be higher than that amount. That's why it's a good fit on our end for people like for clients like yourself. And then there are ones that are more established. You mentioned your age. Our average age of clients is between 40 and 50 years old, right? So you've got plenty of time to catch up.
Yeah.
No, 100%. And so how did you feel like just before joining ATN? Were you skeptical? Were you nervous at all? How did you feel?
I was definitely both of those. I was definitely nervous, but the thought like wasn't leaving my mind. I had the initial phone call with the sales rep and he provided a lot of good information. It gave me, at first I was like skeptical and I was like, well, let me take some time, look into this. I wasn't aware that what you guys were doing was Forex trading based on your initial advertisements, right? So the first call gave me more details into that. And I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Let me look into that a little more. I haven't done that before. So then I had a second call to answer more questions and it was very informative. After that, I literally like had a dream that I like went all in with this and felt a lot better about just making a decision rather than just kind of like still being in like a doubtful state. Once I made that decision and called the sales rep again, I was like, hey, I'm ready to go. Let's do this. I felt instantly like relieved and better. I had my call with you. And I guess at that point, I was all in.
Understood. So it came to you in a dream to,
Honestly, I was like, because I was thinking about it so much, like night and day. I was talking to my boyfriend about it, and it is a little risky for me, but I just felt like it was good.
Love it. I love it. For you, how was the actual setup with your success manager? Or how did that process go for you getting everything onboarded?
It was a little tricky for me because I was going out of town the next week. But Julio is who I got everything set up with. He was super informative, walked me through the steps, very accommodating with the time. I was really nervous about the wire transfer. So I went to my local branch in person and had the wire transfer. And I was literally a little nervous and was texting Julio during the process. I'm like, they keep saying, like, make sure it's legit, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm trusting Julio. Like, I'm pretty sure it's good. He was texting me back during that meeting and everything went through smoothly. Then I actually like went out of town. Julio sent me videos on how to do like put it all from the brokerage account into the trading account. That all went well, and I would say everything went smoothly with the setup. And then afterwards is when there was kind of the technical difficulties with the securities account. So I was like a little nervous, but Julio kept reassuring me that like things are still running in the background. Like we promise it'll be fixed in a couple days. So I felt better about that.
And it was, right? I'm 100% sure that it ended up being fixed. So on your end, how about ongoing communication? I know after the initial setup, that's one piece, but for ongoing communication, especially during things like a potential outage or things like that, how has the ability for you to be able to communicate with your success manager been?
Julio will respond to me really fast on WhatsApp, but I also got added to the Telegram where he's posting like general blast, I guess, to everybody about what's going on. So I would say communication's been on par. It's perfect.
Love it. And on your ideal scenario, as far as who you would be working with to provide an opportunity that we do provide, what do you feel like maybe helps us stand apart from other things that maybe you've looked at or heard about or things like that? What do you feel like is really like something that makes us maybe different?
I think the personability with everybody, like being able to be personal, talk to you guys. I do like I feel like I'm getting to know the team better. That kind of helps too. In the process overall, like you guys are setting expectations to know what to do next or next communications. So that helps. I know you're getting the Slack set up. I just joined the Slack account too. So I'm still getting familiar with it, but that's helping as well.
No, that's one thing that we wanted. Basically it's going to replace WhatsApp. So Telegram, or if you're doing iMessage, I don't know, you were mentioning WhatsApp with Julio, was it? Okay. The Telegram is going to stay because that's the blast, like you mentioned, but the WhatsApp will turn into the Slack. So that more streamlined communication, because imagine being able to, for our support team, having everything just like in line for everyone, just in case Julio isn't able to respond for 30 minutes, maybe someone else from the success team is able to jump in and answer that question for you. It just allows for more efficiency, kind of being able to have everybody have visibility into what's happening. So that's really something that'll help as well. And so on your end, if you are you on your laptop or is it?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind pulling up your account, sharing your screen?
Yeah, I actually sharing my screen. Okay, I do. I had it.
Is that
up.
fancy?
All right, so here's my dashboard.
For sure. In the last 30 days, is that the amount? It's been about $1,600 or so.
And that's for about 7 weeks of trading. So it's doing okay.
Got it. If we're like looking at it, it would be about 9%, and then like so 9% overall, and then so 7 weeks. So kind of around an average of maybe around 5% or so is what it looks like on that end.
Mhm. That's
Um,
kind of what I was calculating too.
Love it. So on your end, like how quickly after the onboarding stage, how quickly did you actually start making passive income?
Well, I was pretty happy that I got the account funded, like kind of in the morning. I checked it again. I've been checking it obsessively. I'm like pretty excited for this to do well. So I checked it again that evening and it had already made a profit of $7. But I'm like, okay, this few hours and
Yeah.
it's already going. And then I like looked into the details and it shows how it's trading. It probably already made like 30 trades, right? So I would say it's pretty instantaneous. Obviously, the trades have to like go through, but once they do, you have like a 70% win rate. Like that means you're like always going to be making something.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
some like pretty. It's not like you have to wait a whole month.
Oh yeah,
It's
exactly. No, it's pretty, and trades do close out. I mean, it is day trading, so trades do close out typically within the day, but sometimes they may kind of go a little bit like overnight a little bit, but typically it's a 1 day circumstance. So for what you've seen to this point with about a 9% return in 7 weeks, if we just kind of did that math of multiply that by a little bit more than six, that's kind of on track. And the reason I'm doing that is because basically 2 months times six would be for the year. It's kind of like 55 to 60% for the year. What you've seen in stocks as far as returns are concerned, how could you maybe like compare what you've seen to this point with like stocks or normal traditional vehicles like that?
I mean, I do with stocks. Some of my stocks are like might double in a year as well, but not all of them, and it might not have put that much in that stock to start with. And then I wish I had, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this should be like more than double of what I've made in return.
Yeah, that's the aim. And again, it's the average returns on an annual stock portfolio is around 7 to 10%. Honest question on your end, Morgan. Based off of what's almost been 2 months, based off of your experience, do you believe ATN? Well, let me actually give some context here, because we're growing. We do have a lot more attention that's being paid to me and to us as a business. There's always people that are going to hate, if you will. What we've seen has been like people that are not clients of ours that may comment, oh, this can't be real, or this isn't legit, or whatever. To your experience to this point, do you believe that ATN is a scam or not doing what we talked about?
Absolutely not. I've actually watched those scam videos on YouTube because, like, somebody I guess was just doing a review because you're starting to get more hits on YouTube as well. I was like, yeah, he hasn't like tried the process or talked to you guys or set up an initial phone call. He's just saying what he thinks he can find online, which your website doesn't have a lot of information, I'll be honest. So the information comes from the first phone calls. I think so far doesn't seem scammy to me, but I'm in it, so I'm really hoping.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that as time goes on, like we can stay a team and stay in contact, and like I hope this can keep going on for years to come.
We are 100% in this for a long haul. We understand that as far as what our job is in this, because we're the consultants, we're not the traders, but it's to make sure that we're a great liaison and give you as much insight and information and transparency as to what's happening, but also like if you have questions or if you have needs or things like that, then we're in position to be able to help you with those things as well. So for us, we're going to continue to do our job. Our traders are going to continue to do their job. And that's kind of what we expect for years and years to come. So
Great.
Love it. Well, those are kind of the main questions that I had, Morgan. I'm excited for you to continue to see your account move forward. I'll be able to just have that second source of income, or well, I guess for you, it's a third source of income with your beyond your second job. But we're looking forward to great things to come, and I'm glad that you're a part of it.
Me too. Well, thanks so much for meeting with me. I do appreciate it.
I'm glad that you're experiencing what you intended to this point, and we plan to have this continue for a long time and have results that are even better. And then again, you're moving into another option, which does have higher results than the Omega. So I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm excited too.
Love it. All right, Morgan, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be talking the next few weeks.
All right, sounds good. You too. Bye.
Bye. So every 30 days, I talk one-on-one with my clients, and that was their experience. If you want to learn more on how we help our clients earn 60% or more per year, then click the link in the description below.